On our left were the boxcars, sad and sooty red beneath the moon. Straight ahead, the lights and airport pokers of Bakersfield proper. To our right, a tremendous aluminum Quonset warehouse. I mention this because exactly a year and a half later, I came right by there again with Neil, and I pointed it out to him. It was a fine night, a warm night, a wine drinking night, a moony night, and a night to hug your girl and talk and spit and be heavy going. And this we did. She was a drinking little fool and kept up with me and passed me and went right on talking till midnight. We never budged from those crates. Occasionally bums passed, Mexican mothers passed with children, and the prowl car came by and the cop got out to piss, but most of the time we were alone and mixing up our souls ever more and ever more till it would be terribly hard to say goodbye. At midnight we got up and goofed towards the highway. B had a new idea. We would hitchhike to Selma, her hometown, and live in her brother's garage. Anything was all right with me. On the road, not far from that damned and faded Spanish-style motel, that great good motel that hung me up and made me meet B, I made B sit down on my bag to make her look like a woman in distress. Right off, a truck stopped, and we ran for it, all glee giggles. The man was a good man. His truck was poor. He roared up and crawled on up the valley. We got to Selma in wee hours before dawn, and I had finished the wine while B slept. I was proper stoned. We got out and roamed the quiet, leafy square of the little California town, a whistle stop on the SP. We went to find her brother's buddy who would tell us where he was. Nobody was home. It all went on in rickety alleys of little Mextown. As dawn began, I lay flat on my back in the lawn of the town square and kept saying over and over again, "You won't tell me what I done with you in Weed, will ya? What I do up in Weed? You won't tell me, will ya? What I do up in Weed?" This was from the picture of Mice and Men with Burgess Meredith talking to George Bancroft. B giggled. Anything I did was all right with her. I could lay there and go on doing that till the ladies came out for church and she wouldn't care. But finally I decided because her brother was in these parts, it would be all set, and soon I took her to an old hotel by the tracks and we went to bed comfortably. $5 left. In the morning, B got up early and left to find her brother. I slept till noon. When I looked out the window, I suddenly saw an SP freight going by with hundreds and hundreds of hobos reclining on the flat cars and rolling merrily along with packs for pillows and funny papers beneath their noses. Some munching on good California grapes picked up by the water tank. "Damn," I yelled. "Ooh-wee. It is the promised land." They were all coming from Frisco. In a week, they'd all be going back in the same grand style. B arrived with her brother's buddy, and her child. Her brother was a wild buck Mexican hot cat with a hunger for booze, a great good kid. His buddy was a big flabby Mexican who spoke English without much accent and was loud and over-anxious to please. I could see he had eyes for B. Her little boy was Raymond, 7 years old, dark-eyed and sweet. Well, there we were, and another wild day began. Her brother's name was Freddy. He had a '38 Chevy. We piled in, took off for parts unknown. "Where are we going?" I asked. The buddy did the explaining. His name was Ponzo. That's what everybody called him. He stank. I found out why. His business was selling manure to farmers. He had a truck. Freddie always had $3 or $4 in his pocket and was happy-go-lucky about things. He always said, "That's right, man. There you go, man. There you go. There you go." And he went. He drove 70 miles an hour in the old Heap, and we went to Madera beyond Fresno to see some farmers. Freddie had a bottle. "Today we drink, tomorrow we work. There you go, man. Take a shot." B sat in the back with her baby. I looked back at her and saw the flush of joy in her face. The beautiful green countryside of October in California reeled by madly. I was guts and juice again and ready to go. "Where do we go now, man?" "We go find a farmer with some manure laying around. Tomorrow we drive back in the truck and pick it up, man. We'll make a lot of money. Don't worry about nothing." "We're all in this together," yelled Ponzo. I saw that was so. Everywhere I went, everybody was in it together. We raced through the crazy streets of Fresno and on up to the valley to some farmers and back roads. Ponzo got out of the car and conducted confused conversations with old Mexican farmers. Nothing, of course, came of it. "What we need is a drink," yelled Freddie, and off we went to a crossroads saloon. Americans are always drinking in crossroads saloons on Sunday afternoon. They bring their kids. There are piles of manure outside the screen door. They gabble and brawl over brews. Everything's fine. Come nightfall, the kids start crying and the parents are drunk. They go weaving back to the house. Everywhere in America I've been in crossroads saloons drinking with whole families. The kids eat popcorn and chips and play in the back, and this we did. Freddy and I and Ponzo and B sat drinking and shouting with the music. The little baby Raymond goofed around with the other children around the jukebox, and the sun began to get red. Nothing had been accomplished. What was there to accomplish? Mañana, said Freddy. Mañana, man, we gonna make it. Have another beer, man. There you go. There you go.